We have with us here today Wilson Veech with reDeFi. Wilson, welcome to the show, man.
Guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Excited to be here.
yeah, I'd love to hear more. I saw a quote of yours that you provided us. The world is won on Saturday mornings. I want to hear more about this. What is your philosophy here? Let's talk about
Uh, that's funny. So it's actually a philosophy I had. One of my buddies and I back. We were fresh out of school. I was down in Austin, Texas, and a lot of my friends during their free time was like, "All right, what show are you watching?" I was a guy who texts all the time. What show are you into? What are you doing for this? And one of my things was like, I feel like in my early 20s, when I'm 22, 23, fresh out of college, like if I want to get ahead in life, if I'm looking out if I'm zooming out here when I'm 80 years old, I'm probably going to want to make sure I went after things. If I was interested in something, that I actually pursued it. And I realized that the day I have kids and everything, married to kids, it's a lot more difficult. But when you're 22, 23, 24, like your free time's kind of your free time. And so I told one of my buddies, as far as I'm concerned, the world's won on Saturday mornings. If you have a productive Saturday morning, that's basically how you approach your free time. So that's kind of been one of my philosophies, like how to use your free time. My friends used to make fun of me because I used to talk about this a lot, like, oh, Wilson doesn't watch TV shows, or Wilson doesn't own a pet. Like, I don't know, man. I want to be able to have free time to do what I want to do. So that's the genesis of the quote: "The world's won on Saturday mornings."
it. I love it. That's great.
That's
Yeah.
I love that because there's actually I kind of stopped working so much on the weekends over like let's say like 2024 in particular, and that's actually been one of my things for 2025. Like put in a couple hours, and it doesn't need to be a whole day. Put in 3 or 4 hours, and just catch up with that shit that's in the back of your mind, that the procrastination stuff.
Yeah.
Just wrapped up my taxes last week. Like that's a great example.
Oh god. Yeah. I don't even want to think about doing taxes right now.
It's brutal. Yeah, I always like that. I always kind of think about, time is the rarest commodity in the world, right? And
Yeah.
you have it, and then you don't. So you might as well take advantage of what you can at the moment, right?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like I could walk outside of here and get hit by a bus tomorrow.
Yeah,
So I may as well use my time effectively because you never know.
I love it. That's
Yeah, well, Wilson, let's start with take us a little bit back. How'd you get into the business?
Hmm.
I know you've been in the crypto industry for a little bit, but tell us specifically, like, how'd you get started with the fund?
Yeah. So I've been in crypto about 8 years now, and been fortunate. I mean, I'm losing my hairline in the process because crypto is insane. Um, but I was fortunate enough to come in 2017 and do all right. Like my personal portfolio really dove into crypto. I originally thought it was a scam at first. Then I started to use the technology, and I was like, oh, whoa, kind of moment. But I had fortunately done pretty well investing in the space back in 2017, and I had made some decent money, and I helped some like my family to a certain extent. My parents invest in crypto. They're like, "What's this future thing? How do I invest in it?" And so I fortunately was buying for them in like 2018 and 2019, the peaks of the bear market. So they did pretty well in their personal portfolios that I helped kind of manage. And my family's financial advisor, he was getting questions all the time during 2021, like during the last bull market of, hey Wilson, so I have a bunch of my clients here trying to invest in the crypto space. Like, how do you how do we do this? I'm like, well, you're gonna need to have cold storage for your wallets. You don't want to leave it at exchanges or on a MetaMask. All these types of security matters. Where this guy, God bless his soul, he's like, Wilson, I'm a few years away from retirement. How about I just push any clients towards you that want to invest in the crypto space, and I'll let you deal with it. I'm like, all right. So that's kind of how I got started. And I'm like, all right, if I'm going to start taking other people's money outside of like my own capital and like family's capital, I'm going to make sure I get smart people around me. So I brought in one of our guys, one of our partners, Mark, who's ran a few hedge funds before, to help advise. I brought I was lucky. One of my friends has been been in the crypto space for several years. I think about 10 years now. And he had done quite well, where to the point where he dropped out of his PhD in game theory and statistics because he was making enough money in crypto back in 2020 and 2021 to no longer need to do early school. I'm just fortunate. I'm part of the Lucky Sperm Club, and he's my cousin. So he helped out be a part of the strategy, John. And then one of my other friends that actually got back into crypto back in like 2018, 2019. He I got him like in early to Chainlink, and he liked that. And I told him like, yeah, we're launching this business. If you want to help out like on the marketing and business development side of things. And sure enough, that was 2021, and we launched in January 22. So right, 3 years and a couple months. So that's how we got in the business. And now we're in the middle of launching our second fund and dealing with all the legal paperwork right now. So my life's a lot of fun with that.
What does reDeFi mean?
Yeah, so reDeFi is kind of one of like the founding principles, so to speak, of our fund. I mean, like as far as I'm concerned, like crypto or any frontier technology, you're at the tip of the spear. You're in the Wild West, so to speak. I mean, maybe we're less now in the Wild West here in crypto, but the reality of the matter is, I think that a lot of people come up with certain strategies or mindsets that they become fixed in. So, I mean, some strategies, allocators look at things and like you don't want to have strategy drift. And I get that makes a lot of sense. But when you're in rapidly evolving space like crypto, I put it this way: if you're going from the Midwest out to California, like if you're traveling out west there and you're in Utah or Colorado, you run into the Rockies, and if you know if your path's going here to the right to an ambush, you know it in advance. Would you go left instead of going right and go towards the gold mine there? So it's kind of the premise that reDeFi, we want to be able to keep redefining ourselves as the space grows. We don't want to have a fixed mindset when the markets are ever evolving. So reDeFi, that's the whole premise for our business. Keep redefining yourself as the markets grow on.
Very cool. What's kind of your overall strategy for the markets for crypto that you kind of focus on?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you two different things that we're up to. So our first fund that we've been running for over 3 years, we can't complain. It's been going pretty well. It's a liquid crypto hedge fund. So when we launched back in like January 2022, a lot of different fund mandates and funds we saw blow up because they had pure altcoins in their portfolio. And if you're looking, like we wanted to be in business, like we're thinking in years and decades for ourselves, where if we want to be around several years from now, like what gives us the best chance of survival, the best odds in our opinion. So we took a balanced approach with our investment trading strategy, where we will have exposure to like the major cryptos, like the Bitcoins, ETH, Solanas, and we'll also go for some of the up and coming cryptos that we find earlier on, because that's kind of like where the edge lies between like myself and my main partner, is that we're kind of crypto nerds. And so we spend a lot of time with that. But being crypto nerds has kind of led us to different situations where it maybe didn't make sense in our fund one, our reDeFi Capital Fund, to be allocating into a certain strategy because maybe a little bit of liquid or didn't really fit our fund one investor mandate. So my partner, John, crypto savant, he's been trying to get me for 3 years to launch a special situation fund. And so that's what he's been focusing on, where I went back to him like early last fall. I'm like, all right, Johnny, I think you were right. I think it's time that we do this. So the special situation funds, all types of really nerdy stuff in the crypto space, stuff like the DeFi yield farming space or something like that, or like stablecoin DPEGs or on-chain events. But the one we're primarily excited about is like the Dow Treasury arbitrage space that we see as pretty good opportunity in bearish conditions. So it's our first fund's more of a long only approach, and our second fund's more of a rain or shine kind of fund approach.
Yeah, that's interesting. Can you talk about kind of high level the Dow Treasury arbitrage?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So I'll try to keep it very simple.
Yeah.
So a lot of projects in the crypto space, like you see historically, before there was large VCs in the crypto space, there was a lot of fair launches. What basically that meant were that a lot of projects, they'd fundraise where a lot of people would say, hey, I like your project. Let me give you some ETH or let me give you some Bitcoin. And they would use this ETH or Bitcoin and just put it on their treasury, on their balance sheet. And then from there, they'd eventually launch a token and reward people that put in capital, essentially vested in Ethereum and Bitcoin, with their alt token. One of the things that we saw during the 2021 bull market, the 2022 bear market, was that a lot of these altcoins, they might go up a bunch in good times, and then in bad times could go down a bunch. What we saw with like the Ethereum and Bitcoin is that the volatility spread kind of is a lot less, not a lot less, but relatively speaking less compared to altcoins. So what we see is that a lot of these altcoins are worth like maybe $200 million market cap, and Ethereum on their balance sheet's worth $200 million. So it's par 1-to-1. However, when shit hits the fan in crypto, which happens every once in a while, the altcoin might go down 90-95% plus. And so that market cap of that altcoin could go from 200 million to 50 million. And that ETH might go a market cap from 200 million to 150 million. So what we look to do is to buy up the treasury, the alt tokens, and basically vote in via the DAO, hey, we should return the treasury to token holders here. You can get a spread of sometimes each DAO is different, but it's basically you can return the assets on hand to token holders.
It's interesting. It sounds almost like being like an activist.
Yeah, to a certain extent, it is like a lot of people come into crypto and they're like, oh, I want to hit 10 or 100x. Like if we see like layups, so to speak, in crypto, like we're not looking for necessarily the home run in this second fund. We're looking for the open layups below the basket. So like that's kind of like our philosophy with this is just like people are looking at the shiny meme coin going 100x or the random alt token go to 100x, but there's still very large, extreme like upside to a certain extent in some of these DAO treasury arbitrages, and especially during a bear market where the price spread can get even larger and larger. So that's like one of the things we find very interesting and that we've done in our personal portfolios that we're looking to make a big part of our special situation fund we're launching.
I'm just curious, what do you see in the space? Obviously, you're 2025, a lot of changes happening, macro perspective, but just love to hear kind of your thoughts on kind of where you see your lens.
Yeah, I mean, it realistically seems like the markets, traditional and crypto markets, really just depends on what side of the bed Trump wakes up on in the morning is kind of dictating our markets for better or for worse. Right. So, I mean, the problem is with anyone doing business, like uncertainty leads to difficulty. It's hard to plan. I was talking to one of my friends, like he's in the food industry. He's like, if we have taxes, like all the fruit that comes through Mexico, it's like, all right, if we've got 20-25% tariffs on these, like the suppliers don't know what to buy, the businesses don't know what to buy, and there's just a lot of uncertainty. So as long as there's tariff concerns and war concerns, I think there will be plenty of volatility here. But my unsophisticated take is at some point something's got to cool off, or something's got to happen in that front. Like I think I saw earlier today or earlier this week is that like there's the largest amount of put volume in several years out there. So I don't know if it's a sign that retail's diving in head first or big funds are diving in head first on that. But that's my take. I don't claim to be a macro expert. I let the other people tell me the geniusness of macro.
Yeah. Might be getting ahead of ourselves here, but I'll ask it anyway. I think it's a good time on this topic. I was looking back. You'd sent us an article that you had wrote in 2022. In January of 2022, actually predicting Celsius and the Terra Luna crash, which I thought was really interesting. How, give us some perspective on how did you think about that at that time? How did you think about the future ramifications of an event like that taking place?
Yeah, good question. I mean, it's two prong. Like you think about like, all right, I'll go into Celsius first. No, actually, I'll go to Terra Luna first. I'll go to Terra Luna first. So essentially, there's this blockchain called Terra or Luna back in 2021. It had been there for several years, and I think it was number 9 market cap back at its peak. It was like somewhere from like 30 to 50 billion dollar market cap. So quite sizable. And one of the things I was confused about from a common sense standpoint, which I think applies to crypto a lot, is try to use common sense as much as possible. Because I didn't understand is how these stable coins, they had a stable coin on the Terra Luna blockchain. It's called UST. So it's basically $1 on the Terra Luna blockchain. But the dollar was backed by the Terra Luna, the very volatile asset. So that wasn't really a problem when let's say the altcoin Luna was worth $20 billion and the stable coins were only worth $1 billion. But the problem, and I didn't understand, is like, how does this 20% interest keep happening rain or shine on the stable coin? Didn't matter what was going on in the market, you get your 20%. And the common sense is kind of just like, this doesn't really make sense over a long period of time. How do you keep printing money? So essentially what we've, like myself and my partner, credit to him because he's a total savant, as we were looking at it, and it's basically the stablecoin eventually got worth about $20 billion market cap, and the asset that backed it was only worth $30 billion. And as that spread started to get closer and closer together, where the asset that's backing you is at par value and potentially going down a bunch, like it turns into a death spiral situation. So we could tell, we knew before January 2022 that this was eventually going to happen, but to us, it's pretty imminent that was going to happen. And I think we predicted in January or something, and I think it happened May. I think I was at a Cinco de Mayo party like a day or two afterwards. So I think it was like May 7th or May 8th, where the UST went being worth $1 and ended up going down to $20 billion market cap of a stablecoin went to zero, and a $30 billion market cap token, Luna, went to zero. So it's kind of just looking at the numbers, and it's like this kind of makes the common sense that this can't last if it keeps growing at this pace. It's like they're paying out very high interest to holders that deposited crypto or stable coins to them when the market, we didn't know where they were getting that return. Like maybe they were making money on like the in DeFi or funding rate arbitrage trade, the carry trade, but just didn't make sense the numbers they were paying depositors for them to be paying out how much they are when the market was not returning that. So we thought we had some wallets of what they were doing. We were tracking them. We thought these were wallets that belonged to Celsius, and it was like insane what they were doing. We saw a couple red flags there, and we were fortunate to avoid them. And now with like the second fund, we're not looking just like avoid these kind of disasters. We're looking to take advantage of these disasters because we kind of have pretty good sight of the market in crypto. And we kind of want to do this with our special situation fund, is just more take advantage of these cases where we kind of get it to a certain extent. We obviously don't know everything, but we have pretty good theses on some different things.
Yeah. Going back to those events, did you have any thoughts about how to make money like you're thinking about now for these future? And I'll get into your 25 predictions at the end, but how'd you kind of think about that at the time?
Yeah, I mean, realistically speaking, it's like there was probably two good strategies. There's a couple different strategies. You could short it's difficult. First off, in crypto, like one of your biggest risks in crypto is your counterparty risk of where you trade the exchange, or where you hold your assets with the custody, or if you're holding your assets yourself, you're probably your biggest risk. So one of the risks, like when we launched in early 2022, is that we didn't know if like some of these exchanges would be pretty sketchy. If like we wanted to trade on them and try to short like Terra Luna or the stablecoin UST, if they're still in business in 6 months to a year, we didn't really necessarily trust some of these counterparties. But the real play was where there's money to be made is, all right, if we think the stablecoin can go from $1 to zero, how can we short this, and where can we short this effectively? And granted, like sometimes you can't really take into, you have to be careful, because we knew a couple of funds that actually blew up trying to short UST at $1. Went down to like 95, 92, 93 cents because we didn't really factor in that jump crypto would be trying to defend the peg of UST. So I don't know. There's a case going on. I don't fully know how it's fully situated, but it looked like they were spending potentially hundreds of millions of dollars trying to defend this peg of a stable coin. Because rationally speaking, all right, this thing's going to have a death spiral. It should go from $1 flat straight down to zero. But the reality of the matter was, like in the interment over a couple of days, couple hours, it went from $1 to lower 90 cents to mid 90s, back closer to $1, then back and forth. And a lot of these guys blew up trying to short it. They were right in the long run, but the execution wasn't there. So I mean, there's a couple of different ways to approach that with trying to play these stablecoin DPEGs. Like sometimes stablecoins are worth something. Like in it was March 23 when we were having that SVB and all those other banks were having issues. Like we saw stablecoins break peg from down to $1 to like 88, 89 cents. When in reality, like if you looked at some of the different stablecoins, like some of them, like you think like Circle, I think it's about 80% of their capital is backed by short-term treasuries, and then 20% of it's held cash in a bank. And I think they had 6 banks at the time. However, I think 2 of them were in the process of going under. So like if we did like common risk, some sort of risk analysis, they've got 6 banks, they've got 20% of their capital. Maybe they have it equally spread across here in case one of these banks goes under. So you could see like maybe USDC, if these banks aren't bailed out, maybe he's trading somewhere from like 92 to 94 cents. That's the real value. What we ended up doing actually was we went into a lesser known stable coin at that time called USDP, US dollar Paxos. And the reason we went into that stable coin was because we could see that it was basically insured up to $750 million, I think the number was. And I think the market cap of it was at like $775 million. These aren't exact numbers, but it's basically, hey, this stable coin's about 98, 99% backed. If case shit does fully hit the fan here, that we should be able to get our capital back. So like, that's one of the ways like we look at it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, obviously, talking about risk management, you brought up a few different points. Common sense, obviously, counterparty risk. Obviously, this is your second fund launching. Counterparties, obviously, when you started your fund 3 years ago, it was a bit different, I'm assuming, as we talked about, to what it is now and what the counterparties look like. What does the ecosystem look like and different service providers that you use, banks, all the above?
Yeah. I mean, it seems like we've come a long way in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
But I mean, the good thing is that like the last six months to a year has started to become very more pro crypto. And I think with this current administration, like people didn't really see like one of the largest PACs in the last election, political action committees groups, was a group called Fair Shake, and they were basically a crypto focused group, and they raised somewhere around like $200 million. And they basically, my take on it was, they basically went to Trump and Biden, like, who's gonna be pro crypto? Whoever is will back you, give you a good amount of money. And they went to the House and the Senate, and they basically said, who's ever pro crypto here, here's a bunch of money towards your election. So essentially, crypto has basically won the last like 4 months in terms of like policy. Like, we have a digital asset working group now. There's a handful of like cases against crypto that are being thrown out from the SEC. Like, Gary Gensler ran a more very, very tight ship that was maybe more of a premise of regulation by enforcement that hurt a lot of businesses in the crypto space. But a lot of those cases by the SEC have been dismissed or thrown out in the last couple of months, which is nice. But basically, a long way of saying that is there's more and more banks and service providers coming in this space, like traditional banks that, hey, we're going to start doing crypto, or traditional custodians like, we're going to start actually custodying Bitcoin. And it's kind of like, wow, like things are really coming along. But like, in terms of like wallet providers or custody providers we use one wallet provider called Utila. We like them a lot. We've had good experience with them using them. But its ecosystem keeps growing. Like fund administrator NAB's great. Our group out of Chicago helps with like our taxes and audits. The Michael Cogliani's group's great. They helped out one of my friends years ago getting into crypto when he was running a fund like 6-7 years ago. So I can't complain too much about like the service providers. Like there's been really good ones. There's been okay ones. The good thing is there's more coming in. There's more competition will lead to better products for the end consumer. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's great. It's good to hear, to kind of see the sea change, if you will, with the regulation change and what it can do for the marketplace.
Yeah, I mean, it's like right now we're going, like today's March 13th, like we're going through turbulent times right now in the market and volatility and everything. But I think a very large signal has been the amount of pro crypto stuff, or at least our markets. I can't claim to speak about other markets, but like the amount of signal that's been going on in terms of in crypto of like pro crypto regulation. Like a lot of these institutions can't buy it due to regulation or the way their fund mandates set up with custody rules with these banks or institutions. So we're happy about that over a long period of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's take a step back and go dive into your funds a little bit. So you have the existing fund, and then your new one is going to be the special situation fund. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Talk to us a little bit more about the existing fund, because I know you're doing a lot of like yield farming on those. Is that correct as well?
So we're doing our existing fund's been around for just over 3 years. So we do when we first launched back in January 2022, we were doing a lot of DeFi yield farming because we thought the risk reward was really solid. Like back then in 2022, we had a good amount of our portfolio in that when we first launched. However, like once we got further into the bear market in like summer 2022, post Celsius, I forget which blow up was in 3AC blew up over early June 2022, and that kind of threw a whole wrench in the market. So we kind of moved away from like the risk reward wasn't as worth it as much in this DeFi yield farming up until like a year and a half ago. So like once FTX collapsed in 2022, we started to put more exposure like into like some more long-term plays like Bitcoin, ETH, about the end of that November, early December. That was more of a long only approach where it's like, all right, well, even though shit's hitting the fan here in crypto, we still believe in this technology, still believe in this market. Yeah, there might have been some shitty people involved, some fraudsters involved. But we basically approached it of like, all right, we want to get into the majors first, because normally we see the crypto markets, shit normally hits the fan. The first to recover is normally Bitcoin, then normally ETH, and then the strongest alts normally show their hand. So we got back a good amount in Bitcoin, ETH, like late 22 and early 23. And then once the alt markets and the traditional markets start to pick up, we start to pick up more and more alt exposure. Like Solana, we bought a good amount back in like June of last year or 23. God, I'm not even sure what year it is. Back when I was trading in like the 20, somewhere around the $25 range, plus or minus $5 to $10. But and then like once you get further in the cycle, like we're going further down the risk curve where there's a lot more entrants in the market, more liquidity. We're moving down to some of the smaller cap alts. Like we'll be buying different alt cryptos we can buy on chain. Like we try to get into projects before they're listed on centralized exchanges. Like that's kind of like one of our edges is like we kind of pretty good information flow and good project flow of like, all right, well, this is coming out earlier here. We know a lot of different founders are doing cool things. So that's kind of how we kind of see our informational edge as being on chain and being active there, because we see it all the time in the DeFi space. We see it with new tokens launching on chain versus launching on centralized exchanges.
Yeah, really interesting. Just a quick question regarding, obviously this is your second fund launching. For anybody who's launching a new fund, I mean, any advice you would give? Obviously you went through it once before, now this is the second time.
If you want to save your hairline, don't do it. I'm just kidding. No, it's actually been great. I mean, it's like any business. Like it's like when you guys start your podcast or you guys run a business, anyone running a business, it's kind of just like, you gotta really want to do it. Like I failed, like I always want to like launch my own business, run my own business. I tried once or twice before, and eventually kind of just like, man, I just didn't really care about it too much. I didn't really love it enough. Like crypto, for better or for worse, I just absolutely love this, because it's like if I knew in advance of like how much effort, how many things I'd have to learn, I probably wouldn't even start it. It's like the Jensen dude at NVIDIA. He's like, if I really knew how crazy or how much work I had to put in, like I would have done it. But I will say this, like, it's good to have good people around you, and like, you gotta really want to do it. Like, you might think you want to do it, oh, I'm going to make X amount of dollars, but you got to stick through for some like crazy times, like, especially in crypto, like you got to really believe in what you're doing. Like you can deal with some serious drawdowns, but if you actually like what you're doing, like if you keep showing up and actually keep doing it, because everyone likes to talk about things. I might not be the smartest person on the planet, but I can still show up every day and take a step forward. And having that approach, it makes it doable. So yeah, the first time launching a fund, a lot more difficult. Second time, a lot more easy. So like there's, I feel like I tell people I'm close with, it's like I feel like I've been like chopping in the woods for a couple of years. Like before we launched in 22, like we were working on it in 2021 for several months, and it's like you're just chopping away in the woods, and then eventually after like several months or several years, it's just like, wait, I can see the light here. We're coming into the greener pasture. So like that's kind of how I feel. It's just like you gotta want to do it. You gotta want to be chopping wood away for maybe months, maybe a year or two, or whatever it takes. But eventually, you can find your way out into the greener pastures, out of the woods. And fortunately, knock on wood, like that's kind of where we're getting to. So I don't know. You just gotta do it. You gotta like it. That's my advice. And you gotta keep showing up. Just do it.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Good advice.
Yeah. One of your goals is to become the Berkshire Hathaway of crypto. Tell us about that. How'd you come up with that goal, and how do you see yourself getting there?
Yeah. I mean, why look at things like in the long run? It's back to like our opening question about like how the world is won on Saturday mornings. I kind of try to look at things in a long-term perspective. Like if I was on my deathbed, if I was 80 something, 90 something today, lying on my deathbed, like how do I wish I lived my life? How do I spend my time? The reality of the matter, like I'm very fortunate. Like I worked hard. I got lucky first, crypto being around during my time. I like paid the price of spending a lot, like spending a lot of time and money, everything in the space and getting into it. But the reality of the matter is, like, even if money were infinite for me, I'd still be doing the same thing. So that's how I always try to look at, like, our investors. Like, when people invest with us, I'm like, hey, if you're looking at this for like a quick 2x in a month or two, like, that's not really our thing. Like, I'm trying to think in not just years, but more in decades, because I think there's a lot of upside in like this space. For example, obviously I'm biased, like, take the other grain of salt, but our goal is, like, myself, my partner, he's my cousin. It's like, we could probably be doing this stuff because we love it till we're 60, 70, 80. And we're about 30 now. And it's like, all right, we're probably gonna keep on doing this. And the one other nuance to, here's one of my takes on, like, the crypto market, I'll be brief on, is that I don't think value investing's really kicked off in crypto yet. Like, I think 99% of tokens are worthless. It's not financial advice. But I think value investing in crypto hasn't really happened yet because there hasn't been clear regulation. So essentially, there's all these projects that make a bunch of money, but none of it goes to token holders, because none of these projects want, like, a lot of these projects, they don't want to deal with like the SEC coming after them, thinking like they're a stock or a security. So once there's clear digital asset rules that should, knock on wood, like, I think they'll come in the next 6 months, a year or two, where revenue can go to token holders. It can legitimize the business models of a lot of these different crypto projects, where revenue is going to token holders, or it's a clear cut path. And so I don't think until that point, really, value investing really exists too much, at least today in crypto's market. Like, sure, in the middle of a bear market, like, you get some pretty good bargains, but I don't think value investing is really kicked off in crypto. And whenever that time comes, we want to be ready for it. I mean, that's part of the reason why we're launching this second fund, is that eventually we think there's going to be clear rules out there, and we want to be able to take advantage of them before others can. So that's kind of our philosophy. Is like, we see this as something on the horizon, potentially 6 months to a year or two from now, and we want to be ready before that happens.
Yeah. What are your biggest competitive advantages?
I mean, for ourselves, is that myself, my main partner Johnny, is that we kind of live on chain. So I've been active in crypto since 2017, and him since 2015. He's advised more projects, been involved with more projects than myself, but it's basically, we have a pretty good information flow and deal flow and general understanding of what fits in our market. A lot of our markets bend to who can be early to something, who actually knows how to use this technology, or who actually has the infrastructure set up. Like, one of the things I think a lot of funds, back to my point earlier, that make mistakes is that they don't have a flexible mandate, so to speak, where they can't adapt when the game changes. And they're playing 2021's game or 2022's game here in 2025. And so having a flexible mandate where we can skate to where the puck's going to be, where we think it's going to be, allows us to have a lot more time where we can have several days, weeks, months, or potentially years where we've got an unfair advantage, and our competition doesn't really come into this until 6 months to a year or two afterwards, and by that time we're on to the next thing. So it's kind of like, it's our philosophy is keep just skating at the bleeding edge of the crypto space, where we spend a vast majority of our time, and as long as we stay at the tip of the spear, there's going to be situations, assuming the crypto space goes on and keeps doing well, there's going to keep being new elements to the markets in the crypto space where we can go and try out the new things. Like, it's the good thing about crypto, you're rewarded, historically been rewarded for being early and being experimental. So that's kind of how we approach it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. I guess on that, talking about, being at the tip of the spear, there's so much information out there. How do you kind of keep track of it all, right? Because everybody asks, how do I stay up to date with so many things happening in real time?
Mute so many words on Twitter. I'm not even like joking to a certain extent. Like that, the biggest thing for like project flow and information flow. We first off, like, we're fortunate where like a lot of people close to us like have founded projects or building different things. So like, we keep a very good low ear to the ground, like people that are coming up with new projects or they're trying out interesting things. So that's probably like our best, is like we've built out our own networks, like myself and Johnny kind of independently in the crypto space. He's a self-proclaimed ETH nerd, where he's very early in Ethereum, and a lot of his buddies are big ETH guys, building a lot of protocols. But I've sourced most of my information from like people I know in my network that are doing projects earlier on, because I got like one of the good things about going to all these crypto events, besides all the travel, is that you meet founders early on,
Mm-hmm.
and you find people that are like, hey, actually, we're doing a raise, or hey, we're actually letting in like $10 million to early backers here of our protocol. We'll give you like preferred terms to a certain extent, and so it's kind of like that deal flow through like our networks that we've built out is probably the biggest like value add that we have. And then in terms of other information flow, like Twitter, like the one pro tip of the day on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, is don't have the latest tab open, because that's a trap. Like the algorithms got you by the you know what. But the for you or whatever the latest tweets are, or whatever it is, where it just comes up whoever tweets latest, like within like a minute or two ago, like that's the best way to like kind of zone out some of the crap on there, because like it's literally rigged against us, like going on to any of these social media platforms to just steal our attention and hijack your next 5 to 10 plus minutes. So that's kind of how I find most information, through our network and through Twitter, and then Discord groups and Telegram groups we're a part of.
Very cool. That's awesome. Great tips.
Talk to us about your predictions for 2025. Any hot takes here?
Yeah, historically, yeah, I've had some pretty hot takes. I mean, one of them, like one of the biggest counterparty risks in crypto or traditional markets, or well, let's stick with crypto.
Wherever you want to take it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to claim to be like some macro genius here that's got like got Trump on speed dial, or the UK and Russia situation. Like I got the in on that. But in terms of crypto, like I think there's a couple different interesting things going on. I think that there will become clear digital asset rules like this year, as I spoke about earlier. I think that's something that people I don't think are really factoring in the market. Like that's a huge regulatory unlock, because once that happens, like the playing field is set for crypto. Once we know what the digital asset rules are, like here's the rule book, go and play. And I think people don't really realize or aren't going to be ready for once the rule book is set, it's probably not changing for a long period of time. So I think that's like one of the most interesting things that I think should come out this year. Maybe it'll come out next year or the year following. It's my biased guess.
I know we're bouncing around a little bit here, but this is a good conversation. A lot of this is really interesting for me. Risk management. So, obviously we don't need to talk about like custody, things like that, but I'm kind of more interested about like on-chain risk management. Kind of, how do you guys think about that? Especially, when you're getting into these LP pools. Are you guys looking into smart contracts, or kind of how do you think about that aspect of it?
Yeah, good question. So there's a couple ways to look at things on chain. First off, there's a lot of sophisticated players in the crypto space that are extremely smart, that are big liquidity providers like Uniswap, other DEXs, different protocols. And the dealing with impermanent loss is it's a difficult game to really deal with, because crypto is so volatile. Essentially, if like you deposit, let's say like an ETH and it's worth $2,000, and you deposit like $2,000 with a stable coin, like you don't necessarily know what will happen in the next couple of days, weeks, or months here with volatility. Like this pool might get imbalanced where you might end up getting more ETH, but the market's gone down a shit ton, so you've lost a bunch of money, like an impermanent loss sense. So you're basically like, I don't think necessarily being a liquidity provider is maybe like the best thing to do for most people. Where we see the best risk reward in our biased opinion is using stable coins to be like an early backer of a project. Like essentially you could have market neutral approach. You put in your stable coins, USDC, you're taking on smart contract risk, which is a whole nother animal. And yeah, I mean, you have to be careful. Like, so I'll go in the smart contracts next, but basically the way we kind of approach it is like the risk reward you're taking on is you're taking on smart contract risk, you'll be taking on stable coin risk, and maybe opportunity cost if you could deploy your capital elsewhere. But when we look at it, we like doing it with stable coins, because the market can go like this and that. But if you've got your stable coins at the end of the day, like you're getting pretty good market neutral approach, potential returns. But then in your point earlier, Mike, about smart contract risk, yeah, it's a real thing. So you have to look at we look at it a couple different ways. Like first off, you kind of want to know who like the team is behind it. Like have they done our project before? Are they anon or not anonymous? there's pros and cons to that. Like, I mean, I get the crypto ethos, but if they're anonymous and they've launched other projects before and they haven't rugged you, okay, you can probably trust them. Then there's outside audits. So like, there's a couple of different ways. And like another higher level philosophy is that the less code, the better when you're deploying into a smart contract or reading a smart contract, because all you're doing, if you have a very large smart contract here and it's just lines and lines and lines of code, it's basically just adding new attack vectors each line of code you have. So the simpler, the dumber it is, the better odds of it not being hacked, because there's less lines of attack, less lines to attack. And then one of the other metrics that we do look at that, like, it's not obviously like nothing's perfect in terms of you got to do your own due diligence, but nothing's perfect. You never know what could happen. But like TVL, total value locked, like if there's tens of millions or hundreds of millions or billions of dollars deployed onto this smart contract, it's probably a pretty resilient smart contract, because every hacker and their mother is probably trying to exploit something that's got a couple $1 billion there. And if they haven't, well, maybe that's because the smart contracts were written well. So there's a lot of different ways to kind of approach smart contract risk. And I think like there'll be better and better tools out there. There'll be better and better audits as the space gets better. However, it's still right now, it's still to a certain extent, it's still the Wild West if you're going early on in these protocols. Like if you're not doing full-blown audits yourself. So you have to be careful about what kind of risk you take on, and you did look at from like a risk management standpoint. You can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
What does your travel schedule look like right now? What are you up to, in terms of conferences, events, and what do you want to get out of them too? Is it fun?
Yeah. So I've been traveling a good amount the past year, like especially the last like 2-3 months as we're doing like the fundraise, the flirting with guys and girls for a living thing. So started doing that in Abu Dhabi and Dubai last December for Abu Dhabi Finance Week. Where I'm going to a lot of these events, the crypto ones, it's more of like project flow, information flow, meet some more founders and learn some new things. The other half of it, like sometimes going to like I was in Hong Kong a couple weeks ago for ETH Denver. I was in New York a couple times for some other events, or meeting with like people that are potentially investing in our fund. But a lot of it's information flow for crypto. Second part of it's we're bringing in like our second fund we're launching. We're looking to be launching June 1 once we get all of our legal paperwork done and all of our LPs invested in our fund. So it's primarily like a lot of the travel is just kind of getting our last couple LPs here. Like we're capping this second fund at 20 mil to launch. Like we could probably handle like 40 to $50 million in this strategy, like in bullish conditions. But in case shit hits the fan, we want to be able to allocate and not have alpha decay. So our thought, kind of like the Berkshire Halfway approach, is like, all right, well, let's just make a small fund here. We know we're confident we could perform pretty well, and we can go a year or two from now, we can go for that bigger 9-figure fund. So right now we're meeting with a bunch of different crypto fund of funds, family offices, and high net worth individuals. Like that's kind of our target market, and talking to them about our strategy. And fortunately, I mean, I know a lot of people have had fundraising issues like the last 6 months or something, but fortunately for us, like what we're doing is so niche that like people are like, wow, that's cool. So I hope that keeps happening and people just keep saying, wow, that's cool, because that wasn't the case a couple of years ago. So primarily going to events for information flows, and then getting the last few investor or two penciled in here for our next fund.
Yeah, that's really cool. On a personal note, I had some interesting facts that you shared. I thought I'd bring up. You love reading philosophy and self-psychology and history books, but also the winter paddleball. I want to know more about that.
Oh
yeah, I'm curious about this in Chicago.
Oh, guys, we can't talk about this. My team actually just lost in the championship 2 days ago. But it's the world's great. I'm a firm believer, like wherever you are, wherever city you are, there's something good about your city, so to speak. Like Chicago during the summers, beach volleyball, an amazing thing. Love doing that. Can't wait for this upcoming season. But Chicago is cold as hell, as you guys probably know very well, and most people listening know. But there, like, I play a sport called paddle tennis, and it's basically tennis in a cage outside, but you play during the winter time. So it can be 20 degrees, 10 degrees, 30 degrees, and we're out playing paddle tennis in the winter. You're out there playing for like an hour and a half or two, but it's basically you hit the ball. In tennis, you win the point if you hit it past someone. in paddle tennis, if they hit it past you, you can play it off the screen. So it's a really fun game. I play like with my brothers on my team, a bunch of my buddies. It's one of the best winter sports out there. Highly recommend it to anyone. Paddle tennis or platform tennis, sometimes it's called, but great sport.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's I've recently picked up pickleball, so we'll have to get after it this summer in Chicago.
I'm in, Mike, but you gotta come to the paddle courts once the fall comes again, because it's pickles. You're playing chess when you're playing pickle. You're playing actual you're checkers with pickle, but you're playing actual chess when you're out there on the paddle tennis court.
I join you guys. I'm actually in Nebraska, so Warren Buffett's my neighbor, as I joke. Where I'm but yeah, it's cold as hell here too in the winter, so just like you guys.
I mean, we'll have to come down there and bring the paddle tennis game down there. It's good for the soul.
There you go. I love it.
Cool. Well, Wilson, I think this is a good spot to wrap it up, man. This has been a lot of fun. Where could people go to connect with you and learn more about your fund?
Yeah, I mean, first off, thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, our website's reDeFiCapital.io. I'm sure we can put like a link in there to reDeFi Capital.io. But honestly, probably hit me up on LinkedIn. It's probably the easiest way if you want to connect with me or get more information about what we're up to. Yeah. There's only so many redheads named Wilson Veech out there, so pretty easy to find out there. But yeah, feel free to shoot me a message. I mean, I always like talking about crypto or other investments. Like, it's like I love investing, so I'm always interested in people who are up to interesting projects or investing in different things. So yeah, feel free to slide on our website or hit me up on LinkedIn. That's probably the easiest way.
Awesome. Well, this has been great, Wilson. Good conversation. This has been fun. We'll make sure to include all that in the show notes as well.